My good friend Ty Lopez, he once told me,
Here in my garage, just bought this new Lamborghini here. It's fun to drive up here in the Hollywood Hills. But you know what I like a lot more than materialistic things? Knowledge. In fact, I'm a lot more proud of these 7 new bookshelves that I had to get installed to hold 2,000 new books that I bought. It's like the billionaire Warren Buffett says, the more you learn, the more you earn.
and you know what? For years, I thought he was bullshitting me, but I realized after a few years of full-time entrepreneurship that he wasn't. And he was right. I just didn't know anything. And so him collecting all of those thousands of books all of a sudden made sense to me because I actually started reading books and learning stuff myself. I made the mistake of thinking that I could just learn everything through watching videos on YouTube because I was a lazy son of a bitch. I learned that that is not the case. So I've been now doing entrepreneurship for a few years. And if you're new here, my name's Tom Youngs. I run CreatorLaunch and we help coaches and consultants scale with one simple system. I've been doing this now for, I think, 2 years full time. And 3 years ago, I was commuting 3 hours a day to go to work. And it absolutely sucked. I would have to sit on a tube in the middle of London and I would literally just like go to sleep. And then I'd wake up at my stop and then I'd be like, oh, I'm there. I just time traveled and it sucked. I then have to spend my entire day just like stuck in an office. And I had some cool, like, honestly, like I had some amazing colleagues through my time. I also had people that I absolutely hated, bosses who sucked and who frankly couldn't tie their own shoelaces. And I had to deal with that and I hated it. So I was like, I'm going to be my own boss. And I've been on a journey over the last few years, whereas I am very lucky that I now get to do that. And my life doesn't feel like I work anymore. It feels genuinely like I'm just playing all the time. And I wish this for you. Now, if you're new here, make sure to hit the follow button. This is going to be a good one today because we're going to be talking about the main books that have helped me on my journey. Now, the first one is Psycho-Cybernetics. Now, this is your personal development roadmap. That is this book here. This is the most important book that I've ever read, and I am constantly rereading this. This is next to me on my bedside table, and I am constantly reading this. This is going to help you with goal setting. And I love this book because it's written by a cosmetic surgeon from the 1950s. And that alone is just like super cool because this guy, the book reads, it's a very easy read for one. And if you ever wondered about like kind of like goal setting and the idea of manifestation, and maybe you're like me, you have a scientific background. Again, for those of you who may not know, I'm familiar if you're new to the channel. I used to be a dentist as well as a biomedical scientist. So my background is science. And so this is the first book where I was like, okay, I finally get this stuff. This will explain to you how to set goals and how to attack goals. And it is the most important book that I've ever read. And I will continue to read it always next to me on my bedside table. The next one is going to be your financial plan. And it is that rude boy here. This is The Millionaire Master Plan by Roger Hamilton. Bit of an unknown kind of underground book, but a little bit difficult to get your hands on, to be honest, as well. It's not sold through Amazon. But this is your literally, I mean, it says right there, you won't be able to read it, but your personalized path to financial success. It is a really simple book to read and just kind of plots out the different levels that you're going to have to go through as an entrepreneur, and really helping you highlight kind of like, these are the stages to expect. And this is what to focus on at each phase. And I found it to be really accurate. And like looking back, I'm like, oh yeah, that really was the case. Think of it as like getting your own kind of personal entrepreneurship mentor. He's an entrepreneur that doesn't get much airtime because he's not on social media. But yeah, Roger Hamilton, great book, Millionaire Master Plan. Next up is The Purple Bible, aka $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozy. And this is when people like, what is an offer? An offer is literally your product. It's what you sell. And it's the invitation that you take out to the market of your product. But this is how to structure a product. Really, really key if you're entering business. This is the sequence, by the way. So these books are in the sequence in which you need to read them if you're new to entrepreneurship. So this is in a specific sequence. I would go Psycho-Cybernetics first, do that second, then How to Make a Product, How to Make an Offer, which is $100 million offers by Alex Hormozi. Next up, we've got Key Person of Influence / Expert Secrets. This is by Daniel Priestley, and Expert Secrets is by Russell Brunson. They're essentially the same book saying the same thing. This is how you build your authority. This is the reason why you need to build your authority. And this is old now. This is Daniel Priestley wrote this, I think, like 10 years ago now, at least 10, 12 years ago. And he was the business coach for my first coach when I made the transition from dentistry to business 8 years ago now. Daniel Priestley was the coach of my career transition coach that I used. Great book. This is going to help you understand what the opportunity is with the creator economy and being an expert. Next up, we've got your messaging roadmap. This is your content roadmap, which is building a story brand. You need to be able to take all of the lessons and stories that you've had and turn them into things that allow people to relate to you. And the most important thing is understanding how to design your messaging so that it aligns and is simple to understand, gives people a journey to go on, and helps people feel connected to you as a brand. And this is how you do it with building a story brand. So that is your content roadmap. Next up, we've got .com Secrets by Russell Brunson, another Russell Brunson book. The truth is that there's a lot of similarities between, Alex Hormozi took a bunch of stuff from this book and put it in $100 million offers. This is your marketing roadmap. This is how to do funnel design, and everything is in here. This is kind of upsells, cross sells, down sells. This is the whole shebang. This is traffic flow. This is the nuts and bolts. It's thick, but it's important. This is this is the fundamentals of if you want to understand how to push people from not knowing who you are to becoming a paying client and keeping hold of them. This is the Bible to go for. So .com Secrets by Russell Brunson. Next up, we've got your cash flow roadmap. This is Profit First by Michael Michalowicz. And by the way, this is not financial advice. Super, super simple way for you to structure your bank accounts. As an entrepreneur and business owner, especially as a young one, the whole idea is that so many business owners or entrepreneurs get into business and they fail because they lose track of their cash and they don't pay themselves first. So that is the two fundamental aspects of Profit First and the Millionaire Master Plan, which is this idea of paying yourself first as an entrepreneur. So what you need to do is you need to set up bank accounts that allow you to do that. So when money comes in, you immediately push money into bank accounts that are going to pay you first. And I'm not going to go into the details of it because that is the book and I'm not a financial advisor. Super simple, easy read. You set up your bank accounts in a couple of days and then you automate stuff so that it's simple. And then you check your bank accounts every couple of weeks. And then we have got your leadership roadmap. This is the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell. And I believe the words creator, entrepreneur, and leader are all synonymous. I think they're the same word. I think they ultimately mean the same thing. They are ultimately a creator and a leader is someone that is taking it upon themselves. A creator or an entrepreneur is someone who is taking it upon themselves to lead by creating and bringing people with them. But this is an incredible book because this is the tactical way to understand how to become a good leader. And one of the first principles is this idea that to lead others, you need to lead yourself first. And so you need to do that. The final book that I'm going to give you is The Notebook. And no, I'm not talking about the film with Ryan Gosling. This is your goal reminding roadmap. It is this. It is this notebook. And just on a side note, because I kind of changed notebooks over recently, I typically have always for my adult life used Moleskines. Fuck the Moleskines. It is all about these rude boys, which is, you won't be able to see that, but it says like term. Let's see if got it on the inside. Don't know if you'll be able to see that. Fuck it, you won't be able to see it. Like term. They look the same, but this is this is, I'm going to call this the Aston Martin, and I'm going to call this like, I don't know why Ford's coming into mind. That's bad, isn't it? I was thinking Porsche. I was like, it's not as good as Porsche. This is where it's at. Like, it's just it's higher quality. But the point of it is, every single day, I write down my 10 goals for the month every morning before I get to work. So people overcomplicate this. They're like, how do I set goals? You set the goal, and then every morning you write them down for the month, like the list. And the key is you don't go back to the next day and try and remember them. You go from scratch every day, and you'll find that things change every single day, which is really interesting. And so those are the 9 books that have helped me the most. And I think that's it. That is a reminder for me to be better every time I open up my iPad. And yeah, that is it. That is 9 books that are going to help you the most on entrepreneurship. And so if you found that useful, hit the like button, subscribe, and make sure to join CreatorLaunch University. We've got 1,000 creators in there. Link's going to be down below. Before I forget, go watch the next video. Go watch that video. Now that was sick. I'll see you in the next one.